Hey friends, I'm Brooke. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and liking and commenting on my videos. Today I'm going to show you how to make these earrings. The main skills used are ladder stitch, work stitch, and a double decrease. Getting started with some thread. This is nymo. For black thread, I only can really find size B around here, so that's what I'm using. I do about arm span width, and I'm 5'3" tall. This is thread conditioner. It's just like a type of wax. I'm probably gonna move over to beeswax here after this project. Using a size 11 seed bead needle, and to get started I'm just picking a bead that's not my beginning color, and I'm looping it on the end so my beadwork doesn't fall off. I want to leave a decent length of a tail here. I'm going to use that tail later. And then to start off on row 1, we're going to do the ladder stitch. To start off a ladder stitch, you pick up 2 beads and you go back through your first bead the same direction that your thread is facing. Just kind of one big loop. And to get your thread back in the correct position, I'm going to go back down through the next bead. You can kind of adjust it to make it look more flat. To continue the ladder stitch, you pick up 1 bead. You go back down through that same bead, making a little loop, and then up through the previous bead you just added. And we're going to continue that, picking up 1 bead, making a loop. So depending on which bead you have, you're going to alternate position each time, either going up or going down. You just don't want your thread to make a weird loop around your beadwork, so that's how you know which way to go. It's kind of the same side that your thread is already on. Save some time going into hyper speed. So we're doing 10 yellow and then 12 orange for our first row. Okay, heading back the other way, you see how the string is coming out up, so we're going to go down for that first one and then go up, and we're just going to go down, up, all the way back, weaving back to make our bead line a bit straighter. Alright, give that a good tug, make sure it's nice and tight. And to start row 2, we're going to just do a single decrease, so kind of your typical brick stitch. I start off with 2 beads and go under the second loop. And you go directly back up your second bead. Oh, looks like I got snagged. Okay, then you go down your first bead. And back up that second bead. For the rest of single brick stitch, you just pick up 1 bead at a time. When you start a row, that's the only time you pick up 2. And we are going to do 7 turquoise to start off. Then we'll do 6 black beads, 5 turquoise, and 3 more black. So for each of these beads in the brick stitch, we just go underneath the little loop on top of the beads. It's kind of in between each of the beads below. Go under that thread. If you don't get tangled. And then you go up through your bead. And you're ready for a new bead. Now it is time for our first double decrease. I'm going to go down through our previous bead, and we're going to kind of make a triangle of weaving with our thread. So you see how I went down to the second to the last orange. I'm going to go up through that next orange, and then up through our second to last bead to the end. This will give us an option to do our double decrease here. So the thread is coming out from the second bead instead of the first bead. So we're working this row right to left, as you can see, and it is an all black bead row with 18 beads. So we're starting out our single bridge stitch, 2 beads, second thread in, you go down your second bead that you originally strung, up the first bead, or down the first bead, and then back up your second bead. Makes a nice little loop where your thread is hidden. Then you just pick up 1 bead at a time. You go under the next thread loop on top of your beads, and then back up through your bead. Now this end gets a double decrease as well, so I don't go all the way to the end. I leave 1 thread space available. But to start this next row, I do need to do a double decrease. So the next bead over, I go down, and then in the 2 beads below, I make a triangle with my weaving pattern. Go down, then up, and up again through the first bead I went down. This is going to bring me coming out of the second bead of this row. So to start our next row, it is also a row of all black beads, 15 black beads total. To start, we pick up 2 beads, we go 2 loops over, up our first bead, down the second, and then back up through the first. For the rest of the row, it's 1 bead at a time through our loop, back up through the bead. Never a great time to record. My neighbor's dogs are barking and they're just playing and having fun, so sorry if that's annoying. So we're ending this row with one beaded loop left as well to give it the double decrease on that side. And starting this row, we are doing a double decrease. So we got to get our thread in the right position. And working right to left, we are doing 4 white, 4 turquoise, then 4 orange. Starting this row off with a double decrease. Show it slow again. We go down our next bead. You can make a triangle, right or left, doesn't really matter on those base beads. You go down one, up the next. Looks like my beads are pretty tight here. And then up so that your string is coming out of the second bead of your previous row. Row 6 is 9 yellow beads. Double decrease, and row 7 is 6 black beads. Double decrease, and row 8 is just 3 black beads. So this side is completed. The next objective is to weave the needle through the beads in a way that, your string's not going to show. It's kind of going back and forth, back and forth. I want to get all the way back to the beginning of row 1 at the yellow. maybe didn't think this all the way through, so I'm kind of looking at how I can go back. So I want my thread coming out of that yellow bead. So back in, and I'm doing a sort of elongated triangle to get my thread going the way I want. This is where we started our beadwork, so the end is here, and I'm just tucking it under my finger to keep it out of the way for now. This is a single decrease row, and it starts off with 3 black, then 14 white, and 4 black. The end of this row is still a single decrease, so we go all the way to the end. For row 10, it is a double decrease, so we need to position our thread to come out of the second bead. And this row is all black beads, 18 total. This row ends in a double decrease, so you want to leave 1 bead space at the end. And then we're going to pause here and add our thread protector. So I'm going to remove that stopper bead, and I'm just going to grab a second needle . Here I am with that beeswax. It is going to help condition the thread, make it easier to go through, the eye of the needle, and it's going to help the thread last a long time. Here's a little thread protector. These are super easy to use. You just go up one side and then back down the other. You just want to make sure your thread is in the little groove provided. Of course, my thread is very short right here, so it's a little bit harder to manage. And for this particular project, I'm just looping through that end yellow bead. I'm going to loop through a few times, give it a nice strength to that. And then once I'm done looping it through, I'll weave the end in, trim it, and carry on with my beading. Checking here to see if I can get my needle through that bead again. With size 11 seed beads and this thicker thread, it seemed like too tight of a fit. So I am just going to start weaving it in. And the best way for me, I figured, to do that was to loop under a thread, make a tiny knot, and then start looping through, or excuse me, weaving through beads to hide my thread. Back to business. Row 11 is a double decrease. Then it is 6 turquoise beads, 3 black, 6 yellow. Row 12 is a double decrease, 3 turquoise, 2 white, 1 black, 3 yellow, 3 orange. Row 12, double decrease, and then 9 black beads. Row 13, double decrease, 6 black beads. Row 14, double decrease, 3 black beads. Now just time for those finishing touches. Gotta weave in your thread a little bit, give it a little bit of security. Sometimes I'll just make sure to do 3 left turns or 3 right turns somewhere, weave it in a tiny bit more, and then color good. Now the easy part, I like to make sure my 2 earrings mirror and then adding the ear wire. If you're not into ear wires, you can make a studded earring and skip the thread protector altogether. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment with any questions. If you'd like to purchase a copy of this pattern written out, let me know. Thinking about making that an option. Hope y'all have a great day.